Hi, Deb Hocking here from debhocking.com. Have you ever heard of the butterfly effect? Where they say that a butterfly flapping its wings in the desert, in the rainforest of South America, can have an impact on the weather in China. The vibration that butterfly creates with its little wings flapping has an impact on the world. Well, I'm going to prove that is true to you today. If you've ever doubted that was true, the story I'm going to share with you right now will show you that it is totally true. What you do, how you vibe, however you feel has an impact on everything around you. Now, I'll start the story that I want to share with you today is about making bread. And I've been making bread for a couple of months now, and I make delicious bread, so delicious that friends have asked me to share my sourdough starter with them so they can make bread, and they've asked me how I do it and what I do, what my method is, and all of that. So my husband calls me the sourdough queen of Torquay, and that's fine. Anyway, the story I want to share today is this. A couple of weeks ago, about 10 days ago, I was making some bread, and while I was making some bread, I was watching some negative stuff, and I was feeling really negative about what I was watching. I'd stopped watching it, but I was still berating myself for actually watching the television because I don't like to watch TV. I don't watch TV anymore, only funny shows. Anyway, that's another story. But I was getting cross with myself, and I was feeling really bleh while I was making my bread, and so the energy that I was putting into my bread was not very positive at all. And so I finished kneading it. I did everything, and I put it away just to prove overnight. And in the morning I came down, and my bread was just a little lump in the bottom of my bowl. It had hardly risen at all, and I was a bit disappointed, but I put it in the oven and cooked it, and sure enough it came out a pretty ordinary loaf. And so that was fine. I didn't put it together that I was negative at that point, but then I started again asking myself and questioning my ability to make bread, and what might I have done wrong, and while I was doing that, I was putting together another loaf. I was making another loaf of bread. So I was still in a pretty low energy state. I wasn't vibrating very high. I wasn't very happy while I was making this bread, and yes, you guessed it, another flop. And it was only when I baked the third loaf that I put two and two together, and I realised what was happening, because when I made the third loaf, I was laughing. My husband and I were laughing because he said, "Oh, you've lost your crown, you're not the queen of sourdough anymore, you're going to have to learn how to do it again, and it's not working." And we were laughing and joking around, and I said, "Yes, I am," and I I didn't kiss it literally, but I blew a kiss to my sourdough starter, and we was just laughing and playing around and telling it. I was asking it, and as I was massaging, I was talking to my dough and massaging it, and saying that it was going to be my best loaf ever so far. And anyway, you guessed it, it rose up so much, that particular loaf that had exactly the same ingredients, exactly the same amount of water, exactly the same treatment that I'd given the other two loaves, except I was happy and laughing when I was massaging and kneading the loaf this time. And yes, it almost sort of blew up so high that it overflowed out of the proving bowl. And it was a magnificent loaf of bread. And since then, every loaf has been a good loaf. And even when I've thought that I wasn't going to make a good loaf, I've always blessed it and been full of love for the beautiful starter and the flour and the dough and everything. And every loaf that I've made so far since then has been a good loaf. So it's proof that how you vibe, no matter what you are dealing with, even if it's just making bread, it has an impact and an impact on the world as we know it. So keep your vibe high. That's my advice to you. And if you need some help to do that, enter your details in the box on this page, and you'll download my 3 strategies report, which will give you 3 strategies that you can implement right now and start creating a life you love. Change your vibes and start feeling happier and being happier and attracting more fantastic things to your life. So in the meantime, I hope you've enjoyed this video and I hope you got something out of it, and by all means leave a comment below and like it if you like it and share it with your friends, and I'll see you on the next video. Thanks for watching.